Hello, my name is Michelle Maldonado, and I am pleased to welcome you to today's special announcement. It's an announcement that I am especially proud of as Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, because of how the humanities and liberal arts faculty have come together with community engagement offices and Scranton colleagues to create what will be a unique and enriching project for our campus and for Scranton. I wanted to begin today with an acknowledgement that is especially fitting for the project that we are celebrating. The University of Scranton acknowledges the original inhabitants and nations of this land, the Lenape, the Munsee, the Shawnee, and the Susquehannocks. May we be ever mindful of their legacy and contribution and commit ourselves to stewarding this land with care and compassion as we navigate our communities toward faith and justice grounded in knowledge, wisdom, and empathy. And now, it's my honor to introduce the university's 29th president, Father Joseph Marina of the Society of Jesus.
Thank you very much, Dean Maldonado. This is a tough day for wearing black polyester, so bear with me, but I'm delighted that you're all here today for this momentous occasion. And I'm pleased to announce that the University of Scranton, together with community partners here in the city of Scranton, has received an impressive humanities discussion grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities in the amount of $152,791. Among just a handful of projects that were chosen nationally, our project is entitled Scranton's Story, Our Nation's Story. Our project will explore how Scranton exemplifies the journey of our nation, from indigenous history to industrial economic expansion, from diverse immigrant and religious stories, past and present, to the Underground Railroad and Black history. I do believe we will only grow stronger as a community and as a country when we understand and consider our history in a full and complete way and reflect together on our local and national identities along with our role as citizens in a democracy. The humanities are a perfect way to approach these larger questions. After all, they are integral to the transformational nature of Scranton's Catholic and Jesuit education that we have been offering since 1888. The Ignatian tradition of the humanities considers the broad human experience, which makes each of us unique and what unites us. The humanities marshal the concepts and the dynamics of story, creativity, and narrative, and they foster the imagination. These are exciting objectives as we embark on this project, a project which will give our students and the greater community a more profound understanding of the human transformations that have occurred in the lives of Scrantonians and other Americans. As you probably know, I'm new here. I consider myself to be one of the freshmen. I just arrived in mid-June, and so it's been a really wonderful summer with a steep but exciting learning curve. And one of the things I've most enjoyed about my first summer in Scranton is getting to know this iconic American city. My early morning walk often takes me down to the iron furnaces at the bank of the roaring brook, where our city's industrial heritage, its natural beauty, and its diverse neighborhoods intersect. It's a wonderful way to start the day. We are very grateful to the United States government for their support of humanities in general and for this particular project that will highlight Scranton and our region's rich history, our culture, and our community. In particular, we're grateful to the National Endowment for the Humanities and to the university and its community, to the team that has succeeded in gaining support for this critically important project. Finally, special thanks to Congressman Matt Cartwright, who is here with us today, and for all of his wonderful support for the university. I look forward to all that we will learn and explore together through this prestigious grant project over the next 2 years. Thank you for listening, and as always, go Royals.
Thank you, Father. I'm very comforted that Father Marine and I have the same size font on our. So the university was among just 239 projects in the nation to receive NEH support and among 16 projects in Pennsylvania to receive funding. The university is actually one of just 3 in the nation to receive this particular NEH funding, responding to the NEH Special Initiative, A More Perfect Union, commemorating the upcoming 250th anniversary of the United States. So, I too want to extend my gratitude to the team from the university and our community partners who put this project together. Now, to provide an overview of Scranton's story, our nation's story, I'd like to introduce the project's director, Julie Schumacher-Cohen, Assistant Vice President for Community Engagement and Government Affairs at the University of Scranton.
Thank you, Dean Maldonado, and thank you, Father Marina. We are just so excited as a project team of university faculty and staff and community organizations to have this opportunity to highlight Scranton as its own kind of place-based text with diverse human and American experiences that can hopefully help us see a way forward to that more perfect union, a more just and truly pluralistic democracy. I know we're deserving of this grant, and at the same time, I almost fell off my chair when we got the call because it is really exciting. It's a multifaceted 2-year project. It will explore 8 different themes, and I'll just review them briefly this morning. But we'll do that through a variety of events. So we'll have lectures, we'll have discussions and dialogues, story exchanges, film screenings, youth writing workshops, bus and walking tours, and especially exciting, we're going to be collecting oral histories, so stories of Scranton residents from across all the communities that will seek to share that more complete story, that full picture of our area. The first theme, which will get started in October, is Portrait of Scranton, Portrait of a Nation. We'll look at Scranton's identity in the popular imagination. How does that representation, how does it reflect or not Scranton today? The next theme, U.S. Citizen and the American Founding, considers how the Scranton and national story can be understood anew 250 years later. Indigenous history of northeastern Pennsylvania will consider this lesser-known history, as we acknowledged earlier, of the original inhabitants and nations of this land. From the Industrial Revolution to Act 47 and beyond, we'll look at the growth and toll of the coal mining and garment industries and the economic challenges and opportunities that we know still are ongoing today. 2 themes, From Immigrant to Citizen and Scranton's Religious Tapestry, Past and Present, will celebrate Scranton's rich diversity and especially strong immigrant heritage, from the European migration of the industrial era to today's recent refugees and immigrants coming from across Latin America, as well as Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. And the Underground Railroad to Black Scranton will explore the trials and triumphs of our region's longstanding African American community and the effort to reclaim that history today by the Black Scranton Project and others. The culminating theme, Education for Democracy, an Integrated Scranton and U.S. Story, will present all of those collected oral histories with a focus on civic education and democratic renewal. It's a lot. We will be very busy over the next 2 years. I want to give a thanks again to all the community and campus partners, many of whom are present today. I really believe that this project demonstrates the talent, the creativity, the compassion, and the community solidarity that we have present on this campus, present in this city. And so we're just really excited to get started, and of course, very grateful to the National Endowment for the Humanities. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you for your leadership on this project. As Julie mentioned, this project has broad involvement. I want to acknowledge the different university colleagues that are part of the steering committee, including faculty and staff from the departments of English and Theater, History, theology and religious studies, and psychology. The Weinberg Memorial Library, community engagement, the Schemmel Forum, and the Slattery Center for the Ignatian Humanities. And now we'll hear from Dr. Matt Meyer, Professor of Philosophy and Faculty Director of the Slattery Center.
Thank you, Dean Maldonado. How's my font? Is it okay? I'm delighted to be here on this occasion and honored to speak as the faculty member collaborating on this project. Although I don't speak for all faculty, I can say that the commitment to the humanities at the University of Scranton is alive and well. It was only a few years ago that a group of faculty, known as the Humanities Initiative, received support from the highest levels of our administration to engage in a range of projects to advance the humanities, the most notable of which is the recently established Slattery Center for the Ignatian Humanities. The grant we are celebrating today, which has been spearheaded by Julie Schumacher-Cohen, emanates from the same spirit and commitment. Her vision and leadership have brought together a group of dedicated faculty, administrators, staff, community leaders to put together the successful NEH grant application, Scranton's Story, Our Nation's Story. Actually, let's give a round of applause to Julie. Our institutional commitment to the humanities is grounded in our Jesuit and Catholic mission. Although we believe the humanities prepares students for professional success, we also believe that our most important task is forming students to become women and men for others. In other words, education is about shaping students as persons and even as citizens with a commitment to the common good. And subjects such as history, theology, literature, foreign languages, and philosophy are all essential to that task. The university's commitment to civic education extends well beyond the university itself. As our long-standing and eminently successful Schemmel Forum demonstrates, we have opened the doors of the university to the larger community to provide a venue for Scranton area residents to learn about, reflect on, and discuss some of the most pressing matters of today. Indeed, one might say that we as a university are committed to playing our part in forming a more perfect union. This, of course, is the title of the NEH initiative that has awarded us this grant, and we believe that the projects and events we pursue in this context will both capture and contribute to this grand endeavor. We will do this by engaging the Scranton community in discussions that move from philosophical and historical reflections on the nature and meaning of freedom and equality to very practical and present questions about how we can better educate everyone, young and old, for the responsibilities of democratic citizenship. Along the way, we hope to tell the story of Scranton and the story of our nation, and I look forward to working with my colleagues and community members as we collaboratively engage in the perpetual task of trying to form a more perfect union. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. As we've heard from many of our speakers thus far, this project is a university community collaboration to tell Scranton's story and consider that in light of our national reality, past and present, to forge a better future. Our next speaker is community partner Maureen McGuigan, Deputy Director of the Lackawanna County Department of Arts and Culture. I also want to acknowledge the many community partners who are making this project possible, including the Black Scranton Project, the Lackawanna Historical Society, WVIA, the Scranton Area Ministerium, the Center for the Living City, United Neighborhood Centers, the Lackawanna County Immigrant Inclusion Committee, and national partner Narrative 4.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And I know we've already heard some thank yous, but I have to do it too, because we had a lot of Zoom calls. It was a lot to pull together because of all the wonderful tapestry of programs we have. So I really need to thank Julie again and Carolyn Bonacci and all of the partners, which we've heard, because it's just such a day to be proud of being a Scrantonian and a Pennsylvanian and of our country. So obviously the heart and soul of our department is humanities and arts. And I just have to point out, as well as being on this beautiful campus, which is also a center of humanities, we have our gorgeous Lackawanna Historical Society behind us, which if you haven't had a trip in, Marianne and Sarah are here. I'm sure they'd be happy to arrange a tour. It's a wonderful resource, and so I think that's very symbolic. So we've heard a lot of the programs that are happening, and there's a lot going on. But what I love about this project is at the heart of it, it's taking our personal stories into our city stories, into our larger community and regional stories, all the way to our nation stories. And that is really powerful, because at the end of the day, to become a more perfect union, we should celebrate and explore our diversity while acknowledging and also celebrating our shared humanity. So I'm really looking forward to working with all of you, hanging out with my old friends and meeting new people. So congratulations to everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Maureen. I want to underscore again the exciting nature of this university-community partnership. I also want to thank the City of Scranton for Mayor Cognetti's support. Also glad to have present today a representative of America 250 PA, the Pennsylvania Commission for the United States 250th anniversary. And as we know, this would not be possible without federal government support. And so now we are glad to have with us our Congressman, U.S. Representative Matt Cartwright.
Thank you, Dean Maldonado. Welcome to you, and welcome particularly to our new president, Father Marina. What a great way, Father, for you to get to know Scranton, then to immerse yourself in what really is a big project, incorporating so many aspects of who we are here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Welcome to you, and best of luck and best wishes for a long tenure here in Scranton, Father. Congratulations to the tireless supporter of the University of Scranton. I think she has an office. She has an office. She has space in my office in Washington. I'm not sure. Julie Schumacher Cohen, an amazing advocate for this institution. Dr. Matt Meyer, congratulations to you. Maureen McGuigan, for this wonderful victory. It's what it is. It's just a pleasure to gather with all of you friends to note this victory for the University of Scranton, for northeastern Pennsylvania, and for the city of Scranton. It's really, they don't pass these out to everybody, Dean. This is a big deal, and we were, John Blake and I were very proud to help support it. As one of the 12 chairs of the House Appropriations Committee, I consider it my duty to advocate for federal funds coming into northeastern Pennsylvania, and this is a small piece of that effort. So congratulations to all involved, and I have to say, I spend an awful lot of time bragging about Scranton. Part of me thinks that we won this grant because it's their way of shutting me up. You know, maybe Cartwright will stop yakking about Scranton all the time. It's not going to work. And I was so thrilled to look at the list of topics, you know, starting with the indigenous peoples of northeastern Pennsylvania. Thank you for mentioning the Susquehannock tribe, by the way. So many people, I think, wonder if the Susquehanna River was somebody trying to say sesquicentennial, but they kind of gave up half the way through. But that's such an important part of our heritage. And when you talk about the Underground Railroad, I talk about that too. I mean, people came through northeastern Pennsylvania escaping slavery. Some of them, they were treated so well in Waverly that you can go through the cemetery up there and see that they decided to stay rather than continuing their flight north. this has been a welcoming place, Scranton, for all kinds of people. And then when you get to the story of immigration, that's when we really get into the question of how welcoming Scranton is, and it has been. And you know, immigration is a constant source of strife and debate in Washington, and kind of always part of the growing pains of our nation. But so much we have to tell about that story here in Scranton, because wave after wave of immigrants came, and there were internecine struggles and strife between those waves, distrust, mistrust, even enmity among them. And I'm so glad that you've included that in the kind of the syllabus of this course, because it's something that I talk about the most. About how we have a statue of John Mitchell down here at our courthouse, a man who came to Scranton and found those waves of immigrant groups fighting with each other, and he brought them together. You know, they say, well, Scranton is the best-known small city in America. Well, that isn't new. You know, 120 years ago, this was the Houston, Texas of America. This was the energy capital of America. And when John Mitchell came to town and united all the ethnic groups, brought them together, and took them out on strike in that summer of 1902, it was an amazing feat how he did that, and what that led to for this whole country in terms of labor rights, getting children out of the mines, establishing the 40-hour work week and overtime for things above, and safety in the workplace. So many of the things that make America a wonderful place today started right here in Scranton. So to me, it should have been a no-brainer that this NEH grant be accepted, and I congratulate all of you involved, and I wish you all the best of luck. Enjoy the day, everybody.
Thank you very much. Today's announcement is the beginning of a project that will be an exciting opportunity for learning and reflection. And I want to thank all of you for joining us today. Thank you again.